Go big or never go home.
Here to tell us more about the Grounded update are Adam and Eric from Obsidian Entertainment. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's a real honor.
No, absolutely. Love Grounded, love everything that you guys have been doing with it. Now, my first question is this mushroom system. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so that's one of the big things for the Shroom and Doom update is mushrooms. We're really changing how the yard is with mushrooms. Every mushroom that you see in the yard is now harvestable, which is really cool. So the small ones, the big toadstools, the ones that you find in caves, now those were present in the yard before, but now you can actually harvest them and get mushroom stuff out of them. The next kind of part of that is that we're adding a couple base building elements like mushroom bricks.
Yeah.
So you have to take all those mushrooms that you find, and then you have to grind them up in a grinder, which is a new building. And then you have to take them to your oven, which is another new building that we're adding, and bake the mushroom stuff into bricks. And then with the mushroom brick buildings, there's a whole host of new options for base builders. And it's more fortified walls and a bunch of other options so you can build a cool big castle.
Oh, that's really cool. Now, we saw the Broodmother, so you're bringing bosses into Grounded. What can you tell me about that? What does that mean for the direction of the game as we move forward?
Yeah, so the Broodmother is our first boss.
Yeah.
So we actually launched with the Broodmother, and we didn't really feel it hit the right mark. So we took the Broodmother out, and we wanted to spend a lot of time making it a really memorable boss fight. So we put a lot of development effort behind the Broodmother, and it's going to really feel like a big, huge fight and a memorable one. There's a lot of kind of cool things with it. I don't want to spoil everything.
Yeah,
I want players to kind of experience it for themselves. But it definitely is something that we want players' feedback to see, like, what do they like? What do they not like? How is the challenge? We want to make it really challenging and have a good reward for defeating the Broodmother. But is it too hard? We'd like to know that. So for future development on Grounded, like, we want to make more bosses. And so we want to get all that feedback to improve the system.
Now, you actually bring up a great point about community, but I'll put a pin in that and come back to it in a second. So I know you don't want to spoil anything about the Broodmother, but is there any tips you can kind of give people ahead of time on what they can do to survive that encounter?
I would definitely say that you would need to make sure you have the highest tier armor and gear up really well for this fight, because it is going to be difficult. And then you also want to have the right mutations equipped as well. If you're playing with your friends, it might be good for one of your friends or yourself to use the brand new crossbow we're going to put into the game, so you can have some ranged DPS while someone else like face tanks the Broodmother.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. So again, going back to community, I know you love getting feedback about Grounded, obviously starting as an early access game, but what are some of the things that you're looking for as far as in this update? What was something that you got feedback-wise from the community that you put in this update?
Yeah, so there's it's one thing that we love working with community. So that's something that we, as developers, we love just hearing what people have to say about the game, and we're continually developing it with the community. So there's a lot of new things in our new update. One of those things is flipping buildings, and that's one thing that we're really like just adding like those little features. Another one is just sprinting up ladders, which is something that like, just hearing people how they interact with ladders and adding a sprint mode. The other one is one of our funnier features that we're adding is sitting in chairs.
Yeah.
So it's something that a lot of people really, really wanted.
We're also introducing like the first phase of pets in the game. So we're going to start with aphids. So you'll be able to tame an aphid, run around the yard with the aphid. But you also got to make sure you protect your aphid, because accidents can happen in the backyard.
Oh, there's one other thing too, achievements. So we're really excited to announce that we have achievements in Grounded, and that's purely based on everyone's feedback. Everyone's been wanting achievements, and so we're finally adding them to the game.
That's really good. Now, again, sticking with this, the topic of community. So this was an early access game, and it sounds like pretty much the foundation of what Grounded is was built off of community feedback. So how does that process work internally for you as far as people submitting, like, hey, I want to sit, I want achievements, pets. Like, how does that whole process work?
So we have a lot of like avenues where we gather feedback from the community. So we do weekly developer streams where chat can ask a bunch of questions when we have Adam on or other developers or myself. and we'll gather feedback and sessions there. And then our main source of feedback is through our official Discord, Grounded the Game. And I use a series of bots to gather a bunch of feedbacks from the players, and then from there, me, Adam, a couple members of the team, and also from the community team get together, and we have a weekly meeting going over all the suggestions and kind of prioritizing what will work and what we can put later in the future for like other suggestions.
Excellent. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking some time to come talk to me about this new update for Grounded. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm going to get to sit, I guess, right?
Yep.
So that's great.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
It's almost time for a closer look at the multiplayer trailer for Halo Infinite. But first, it's time to see what the snow, the slopes, and the powder spray look like when powered by Xbox Series X and S. This is Shredders.